is on B106 and B106.com. This afternoon from Vista Peak High School in Aurora, it's a Colorado 7 League clash as the Fort Morgan Mustangs face the Vista Peak Bison. I'm John Beltran, and these teams are meeting for the second time in 3 days after the Mustangs nearly blew a huge lead on Wednesday at home. They were up 11-3 going into the seventh inning when the Bison scored 7 runs and the Mustangs escaped with an 11-10 victory. Nonetheless, they're still undefeated in Colorado 7 League play, 5-0 in league play. And they are 7-5 overall. Vista Peak at 2-4 in the Colorado 7. And they are 6-6 on the year. Momentarily, we'll introduce you to the starting lineups. The umpires were here about 20-some-odd minutes ago. At least I saw umpires getting dressed, but still have not appeared here on the varsity field. Just a gorgeous facility. This is a huge facility in Aurora. Almost has the feel of a small college campus with all the facilities, the soccer fields, baseball, track and field, softball. I mean, it certainly looks more like a city park, and the umpires have now made their way onto the field, and momentarily we'll introduce you to the starting lineup for the Mustangs. Mustang starting lineup is brought to you by High Plains Bank. Hometown service and a higher plane, that's High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins. For assistance in opening a loan, equity line of credit, or checking account, see what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. And by the way, the weather is perfect. Temperature in the upper 70s. As we approach first pitch here just after 4 o'clock, once these teams are ready and once Vista Peak takes the field, the Mustangs will be throwing the left-hander Kyle Daniels, a sophomore today. And we'll get to this Mustang starting lineup as soon as the technology that I'm relying on cooperates. No big changes today for Fort Morgan. As they'll essentially have that same lineup that they fielded throughout the course of the season. So Kyle Daniels will lead off. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at B106 on Facebook and Twitter. Half inning by half inning updates. You can also follow us on the web at ksirsports.com. And just click on the link for today's game. For the Mustangs, their lineup goes as follows. Batting first is the pitcher Kyle Daniels, the DH Chris Anderson at second. Reyes Rodriguez, the second baseman, bats third. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman Wes Anderson. James Blackston in center hits fifth. The right fielder is Jared Bohm, he bats sixth. Tony Zwedzig, the shortstop, hits seventh. Austin Cosman plays third and hits eighth. And the catcher, Joey Schneider, will be hitting ninth. Defensively, for Vista Peak, at first base, let's see if Adam Pueller is there at first. I thought it was Sean Paul. No, Adam Pueller is at first base. Second baseman is Darian Vidales. Jamie Tarango at third. In between him at short is Yomar Rodriguez. Around the outfield, Arturo Valenzuela in left. The center fielder is Isaiah Young. Craig Smith in right. Behind the plate is Paul White. Well, let's see if Paul White's on the hill. No. Apparently this has changed on us because Colton Thompson pitched the other day, so I believe Paul White is on the mound. We'll clarify this here momentarily. Now, Colton Thompson was the losing pitcher on Wednesday in Fort Morgan's 11-10 victory. So we'll clarify here momentarily who's on the hill for Vista Peak. I believe that'd be Paul White pitching and Colton Thompson catching. But let's see. Let's get a clarification from what we had earlier. The Mustangs wearing those maroon uniforms with the gray lettering and gray pants. The baby blues for Vista Peak with the white numerals and the white pants. It looks like Jamie Tarango is on the hill. And Paul White would still be behind the plate. All right, so we'll clean things up here momentarily in terms of a starting lineup. They move Rodriguez over to third. Apparently what we've got is a little bit different, as Colton Thompson is the shortstop. The rest of it looks pretty much intact for Vista Peak. So Adam Puehler at first, Darian Vidales at second, Yormar Rodriguez at third. The shortstop is Colton Thompson, Adam Puehler. Check that, Arturo Valenzuela in left, Isaiah Young in center, Craig Smith in right. Paul White behind the plate, and the right-hander Jamie Tarango, big strong right-hander, is on the hill for the Bison. The Mustangs have not lost a game in the Colorado 7 League since joining the league a year ago. They were undefeated. They went 19-0 during the regular season. And that included a 12-0 mark in league play. After today, they still have got Elizabeth, Fort Lupton, and Englewood. Next week, they'll play Elizabeth at home on Wednesday and travel to the Cardinals on Friday, and that could be for the league title, as those two teams battled it out last year with the Mustangs winning 1-0 on the road against Elizabeth, and then the very next day an easy victory. Opening pitch is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life, home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call at 842-4555. In steps the left-handed hitting Kyle Daniels. Pretty much sprays the ball all over the place. And the right-hander Jaime Tarango will deliver. Fastball is up and away. The official game started 4:05 from Aurora. A slight breeze and just a gorgeous day. More like a day in late May as opposed to approaching mid-April. And the 1-0 swung on and fouled off to the left, and the count is level at 1-1 Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what the Mustangs have left over the next 3 weeks. And then hopefully a bid into the playoffs. A 32-team field in 4A. And the 1-1. And that is down and in. 2-1. To Kyle Daniels, very solid sophomore in center field when he's not pitching, and today he is pitching. And the 2-1 swung on and grounded slowly towards second. Vidales to his left, sidearms to first, and there's one down. One down for Chris Anderson. Another left-handed hitter for the Mustangs. Against the right-hander Tarango. Wolf Auto Center, another fine sponsor of Fort Morgan Mustang Sports. That's Wolf Auto Center. They'll take care of you at Wolf Auto Center. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the left on the heater. No balls and one strike to the DH, Chris Anderson. Followed by the second baseman, Reyes Rodriguez. Laying down the sign is White. The wind by Tarango, the pitch. Fastball is up and away. Levels the count at 1-1. This is the fourth year for this school, Vista Peak. They're going to be very good in years to come. They've got some awesome facilities to work with. 1-1, and the breaking ball is down and away. Draws the count to 2-1. Not bad in basketball, that's for sure. Mustangs did have to come back to beat them in football this year on a Saturday afternoon. And, of course, won on Wednesday in baseball. And the fastball is up and away. Ball 3, strike 1 to Chris Anderson. 1 down, top of the first inning. No score between the Mustangs and Vista Peak Bison from Aurora. Tarango taking his time on the hill. Gets the sign from White. And the 3-1 offering. Up and away. It's a walk to Chris Anderson. That'll bring up Reyes Rodriguez, the Mustangs' second baseman. Dimensions are not listed here in Aurora. Yeah, I'd have to guess about 375, 380 straight away. Maybe about 310 down the lines, but it's a guess at this point. Anderson with a 2-step lead at first. The stretch by Tarango. And the right-hander delivers. Swung on and popped foul off to the right and well out of play. Count goes to 0-1. There's a junior varsity game being played as well at the same time, which is nice. That gives you flexibility. No balls and 1 strike. Short lead once again. And Rodriguez awaits the pitch. Swung on and lined into right field. That's a base hit. Anderson's going to round second. He's going to head to third, and the throw is going to go all the way through. Rodriguez now heading to second. He's in there on the throw. It'll go as a single. And the Mustangs have runners at second and third with 1 down. It'll be Wes Anderson stepping inside the batter's box for Fort Morgan. Looking to give the Mustangs the early lead. The right-hander ready. Out of the wind and the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to Anderson. Got a slightly open stance. If he gets anything inside, he's going to pull it. And the 0-1 offering. And that fastball is up and away. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike to the senior first baseman. 3-sport athlete for Fort Morgan. Off of third is Anderson. That's Chris Anderson. Reyes Rodriguez at second. And the 1-1 up and away took something off it. Ball 2, strike 1. Before your next mixer or feeder truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service at MMI International. They perform and outperform their competitors, hands down. 842-5161. The wind in the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and foul to the screen. Took a half swing there. Wasn't sure if that was going to be in the strike zone. The count goes to 2-2. Anderson looking at the very least to protect. Out of the windup is Tarango. And the 2-2 pitch. Up and away. Again on the off-speed pitch, it's 3-2. Tarango laboring in the opening inning. He's already thrown 16 pitches and only 7 for strikes. He's got 1 down. Anderson right on top of that plate. He's not going to let anything by him. White lays down the sign. 3-2. Swung on and lifted extremely high into right center field, way back. And the ball is going to go up against the fence. It was misjudged out there by Smith. Scoring easily is Chris Anderson. To third is Reyes Rodriguez. As the runners had to hold, it'll be a straight-up double for Wes Anderson. He's the only one who got 2 bases. On that, the Mustangs lead 1-0. That'll bring up James Blackston. Yeah, the thing was just misjudged out there by Smith. It's almost like he didn't see it at all. So Blackston steps in. Wind and pitch. And that is off the glove of the catcher. White and to the plate and sliding in safely off the pass ball is Reyes Rodriguez. And the Mustangs now lead 2-0. Advancing to third is Wes Sanderson. He must have been expecting a curveball or something because it was misplayed. So out of the windup with a 1-ball, no strike count is Tarango. And the pitch swung on and driven into the left center field gap. That ball is going to drop for a base hit. Wes Sanderson will score. James Blackston with the RBI single. And the Mustangs now lead by a score of 3-0. And here comes Jared Bohm. So Fort Morgan with a lot of confidence here. And the opening frame. Still only one out. The stretch by Tarango. And the pitch. That's a fastball in there for a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. No balls, one strike. One on. 3-0 Fort Morgan in the first. Short lead, the pitch is low and away. That levels the count. At 1-1. Mustangs looking to break out early. They didn't score a lot until the 5th inning on Wednesday. Runner going. 1-1 is upstairs, and the ball is dropped by the catcher. An easy stolen base for James Blackston. And he's now in scoring position with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And Fort Morgan in the lead 3-0. 2 balls, 1 strike, the stretch. And the offering swung on and fouled off the face mask of the catcher. Count is now level at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the senior right fielder. With a runner in scoring position. The stretch by Tarango. Big lead for Blackston. And the pitch. Swung on, line, foul, and off to the right. Good swing on that one. Got a good piece of the baseball with just tardy on it. So it remains at 2-2. Now you could give Kyle Daniels a ton of support here in the first. Tarango looks back, and the offering, and that is inside. Rode inside, and a good eye there by Bohm. Close pitch to take, but he knew it was not a strike. 3-2 with Blackston at second, 1 down in the first inning. Tarango looks in. And the payoff pitch. Curveball is grounded down the third baseline and off the glove of the third baseman, Rodriguez, as he had to leap for the ball. Holding up at second was Blackston. We'll call that E5. Had he made the grab there, had a chance to make the play. Would have been a close one. First and second. With 1 down for Tony Swedzik, the 7th place hitter in the lineup. The stretch by Tarango. And the throw back to second. Blackston is in there sliding. He did not see the second baseman, Vidales, coming from behind. Mustangs got away with one there. Blackston does have speed, but he had to rely on that to get back in and his instincts. The stretch. And Swedzik awaits the pitch. Here it is. Up and in with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Mustangs with a 3-0 lead. We're in the opening inning. Wes Anderson with an RBI double. Reyes Rodriguez scored on a pass ball. James Blackston with a run-scoring single. 1-0. Swung on and fouled straight back. That levels the count at 1-1. And from here on out, the pitching rotation is going to be very predictable. From here on out, on Wednesdays, Jared Bohm will get the start. On Friday, Kyle Daniels will get the start, since that's the way the schedule rounds out for the remainder of the season. Runners take their leads. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And Tarango comes home. Swung on, fouled off to the right. The count moves to 1-2 in this very lengthy top of the first inning. If you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up and pick up something new for the hot and cold deli selection. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Great food at low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. Off of second is Blackston. Bowman first. Tarango looks back. And the 1-2. Swung on and fouled to the screen. Count remains at 1-2. That was the 30th pitch already thrown by Tarango here in the top of the first. And he continues on this pace. The Mustangs will see another pitcher coming up within the next couple of innings. It'll be another 1-2 to the senior shortstop, Tony Zwedzig. Runners take their leads. The long pause, the pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball above the letters. And that is 2 down. That'll bring up Austin Cosman. Cosman, along with Bohm and Blackston, hit home runs on Wednesday in Fort Morgan's victory over the Bison. Hit a couple of home runs against Skyview on the road. The stretch by Tarango. The pitch. Swag and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Cosman could easily hit 10 home runs this year. He's got lots of power. Off of second is Blackston. The other B is at first and Jared Bohm. The stretch. Tarango with the 0-1. Swing and a miss again. Cosman looks like he's pulling off that ball. He's trying to hit it so hard, and I think his head is pulling off the ball. No balls and 2 strikes. The stretch by Tarango. And the 0-2. The breaking ball swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. White's going to have to throw him out. He sets, and he retires. Austin Cosman with the throw at first base. However, the Mustangs have a very productive top of the first inning. They scored 3 runs on 3 hits in air and 2 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the first. Fort Morgan 3, Vista Peak nothing. This is B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back in Aurora. The Mustangs scored 3 runs in the top of the first inning. Here's the lineup for Vista Peak as we head to the bottom of the first against left-hander Kyle Daniels. Yomar Rodriguez, the third baseman, hits first. The catcher, Paul White, bats second. Colton Thompson, the shortstop, is the third place hitter. The cleanup hitter is the center fielder, Isaiah Young. Batting fifth is the second baseman, Darian Vidales. Craig Smith in right hits sixth. Jaime Tarango, the pitcher, bats seventh. The left fielder, Arturo Valenzuela, hits eighth. And Adam Pueller, the first baseman, will bat ninth. Wes Anderson's at first for Fort Morgan. Reyes Rodriguez at second. Third baseman is Austin Cosman. Over at short is Tony Zwedzig. Juan Aguilar in left, James Blackson in center. In right is Jared Bohm. Behind the plate is Joey Schneider. And the left-hander Kyle Daniels delivers the pitch, and it's upstairs. You'll see a fastball, changeup, curveball combination from Kyle Daniels throughout the course of this game. And the 1-0. Fastball rides inside. 2 balls and no strikes. The right-handed hitting Rodriguez lines it towards left center field. It's a base hit. A little flare beyond the leaping Tony Zwedzig. And Vista Peak has a runner on. That'll send to Paul White, the Bison catcher, also hitting from the right side. We had 21 runs scored on Wednesday. We're off to a banging start here in Aurora with a 3-0 Fort Morgan lead in the bottom of the first inning. Mustangs at double play depth. The stretch. Very short lead at first against the left-hander. The pitch. And the breaking ball is just inside. 1 ball and no strikes. To Paul White. You want your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them. Purchase the best quality parts and accessories at great prices. The pitch. Upstairs at your local Napa store, Central Auto Parts in Fort Moore. Now, we saw this from Daniels earlier this season. Once he finds his rhythm, he's good, but he's got to get his rhythm here in the first inning, which is the toughest for most good pitchers. Throw back to first, back and diving is Rodriguez. 2 balls, no strikes. To the right-handed hitting Paul White, the catcher today for Vista Peak. The stretch. Daniels delivers. Rides inside with a heater. It's 3-0. And I think Daniels is thinking that this is a hitter strike zone. A couple of borderline pitches were called balls. 3-0. Daniels delivers. And that is a strike. Took something off it. On the outer edge is 3-1. The stretch again by Daniels. Short lead at first for Rodriguez. Throw back to first, back and standing that time. He read that move very easily. We'll do a 3-1 pitch coming up momentarily. Blackston shaded towards left center. The pitch. The changeup is low. First and second for Vista Peak in the bottom of the first inning, trailing by 3 with the right-handed hitting Colton Thompson. Ready to step into the batter's box. No lights here. Hopefully we won't need them. Have to be a 3-hour-plus game. But we're not far from 4:30. We're not even out of the first inning. In fact, nobody out in the bottom of the first. At second is Rodriguez. White at first. The stretch. And the offering. And the breaking ball is lined down the left field line. It is foul. Just foul. No balls and 1 strike. That would have been trouble. That would have at least been a double and a run, if not 2 scoring. That's because Daniels just hung that breaking ball there. No balls and 1 strike to Thompson. 3-0 Fort Morgan. An RBI double from Wes Anderson. Reyes Rodriguez scored on a pass ball, and James Blackston with a run-scoring single. Changeup is on the outside corner, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Daniels looks in. Let's see if this is going to be a waste pitch since he's up in the count at 0-2. The offering swung on, lined into right center field for a base hit. Yomar Rodriguez rounds third. He is going to score as the ball comes back into the infield on the RBI single from Colton Thompson. Fort Morgan 3, Vista Peak 1, and that was a mistake pitch. You never throw anything that hittable at 0-2. Simple mistake there made by the sophomore, leaving that up in the zone as he was way, way ahead in the count. Here is Isaiah Young to hit for Vista Peak. The stretch and the offering. And the curveball is grounded to third. Cosman's go to second for 1. Rodriguez to first. That's going to be late. The fielder's choice goes 5-4. Runners at the corners, but they did get the initial out. And now batting for Vista Peak will be Darian Vidales with 1 out, runners at the corners. Now Fort Morgan looking for another double play, or at least a double play grounder. A little bit tougher when it's hit the third. Stretch and pitch, and the breaking ball is fouled at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. You want to find out how these teams scored, just either follow us on Twitter or Facebook at B106, or go to KSIRsports.com and click on the link for today's game. The stretch. And Daniels looks back, and the throw back to first, and close play as Young was leaning. Nice move there by Kyle Daniels. Young's lead could get a little bit shorter. Looking back with White at third as well is Daniels. And the pitch. Fastball is lined and off the glove of the third baseman, Cosman, into foul territory. Young is headed to third, but he's going to retreat to second. It's a base hit for Darian Vidales as Cosman nearly made a sparkling play. And it's 3-2 now in favor of Fort Morgan. That'll bring up the sixth place hitter, Craig Smith. Just barely missed the glove. Or at least the heart of the glove, I should say, the webbing. Stretch and pitch. Swung on and lifted deep into center field. Blackston is back, still going back. He gets under it, makes the catch. It looked like Young left early. The throw's going to third all the way through to Cosman. So first and third, but it looked like he left early. There is no doubt in my mind that he took off there pretty early. Let's see if they appeal. There is no doubt that as Jaime Tarango steps in, that Young took off before that ball was caught. Let's see the Mustangs appeal. The stretch. And the offering. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike. Yeah, no appeal, but I thought he took off a little bit early there. The Bison to within a run with a tying run at third base. No balls and one strike to Tarango. The pitch. The breaking ball is inside. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. 2 down, 2 on, 2 in. Fort Morgan leads 3-2. The pitch. Swung on and popped down the right side. It's going to head out of play as Bohm gives chase. And the count will be 1-2 to Jaime Tarango. Your one-stop center for home improvement projects, Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. For flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. That's Ackley Building Center. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I thought it was a rule in high school baseball. I got to tuck your shirt in, but Tarango's wearing that shirt out there more like a mini dress. It's all tucked out, the stretch. Runner takes off. Daniels is going to let him go. Throw to third, and Young is going to be out. Young is going to be out on the pickoff. No stolen base over there for Vidales because Young was picked off by Kyle Daniels. However, in the inning, Vista Peak scores 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors and a man left. We played 1. Fort Morgan 3, Vista Peak 2 in Aurora on B106 and B106.com. Fort Morgan 3, Vista Peak 2 as we head to the top of the second inning. And the Mustangs will be sending up the 9, 1, and 2 hitters against right-hander Jaime Tarango, Joey Schneider, Kyle Daniels, and Chris Anderson for Fort Morgan. Schneider, the right-handed hitting catcher for the Mustangs. Hopefully the rest of the game will pick up a little bit more. That was a 27-minute first inning. The wind by Tarango, the pitch in the dirt with a heater. 1 ball and no strikes. This is a day you wish you could play about 2 or 3 games. Man, it is perfect. You wouldn't know what state you're in today. The 1-0, and that's up and away. With the off-speed pitch, 2 balls and no strikes to Joey Schneider. Tarango takes his time, gets the sign. 2-0 offering. Swung on, driven to left field, and that ball's going to sail over the head of the Vista Peak left fielder. Around first to Schneider, headed to second. And he will have a leadoff double in the second. Arturo Valenzuela just froze, and the ball sailed over his head easily. T.J. Bauer will be the courtesy runner for Joey Schneider. That'll send up Kyle Daniels. Daniels grounded to second in the opening inning. The stretch by Tarango. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and he lays it up the third baseline. That's an excellent bunt, fielded by Rodriguez. He has no throw. No throw for Rodriguez. And first and third for the Mustangs off that excellent bunt. Here's Chris Anderson. Oh, that was a beautiful bunt down the third base side. The stretch. And the step off, nothing doing there. Anderson walked and scored in the opening frame. The stretch by Tarango. Looks into the left-handed hitting DH the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. No balls and one strike. The Mustangs with 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 runs on 3 hits for Vista Peak. The Bison have committed the game's only error, and we're only in the second. They might eclipse the 21 runs that were scored on Wednesday. We've got 5 already. Runners take their leads. Let's see if Daniels takes off. He does. Swung on and grounded right back to the mound. Tarango looks to third, throws to first. There's the out. That's good that Daniels was running with Bauer holding, because it could have been a double play. Instead, just 1 down and 2 runners in scoring position. That sends up Wes Anderson. Anderson had that. Or check that. Reyes Rodriguez. Anderson's on deck. Rodriguez had a base hit in his first at bat. The offering outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Reyes Rodriguez. The right-handed hitting Mustang second baseman. Tarango out of the windup and the 1-0. Swung on and grounded right to the pitcher. Bauer has to go back to third. The throw, the slide, and he's safe. He's safe. It's a fielder's choice. Now the bases are loaded. No base hit for Tarango, or check that for Rodriguez, but no error by Tarango, since he fielded it cleanly and simply made a choice. And unfortunately for him, it was the wrong one. Base is now loaded for Wes Anderson. He threw it just a little bit too late. And when he made that late decision, Bauer slid back in. The wind and the pitch. And that changeup is up and away. One ball and no strikes. Isaiah Young shaded towards right center, in center. The pitch. Swung on and popped up to left field. Valenzuela ranges to his right, and he reaches out, makes the catch. Tagging up is Bauer. He's going to score on the sacrifice fly by Wes Anderson. And it's now a 4-2 Mustang lead. Anderson with his second RBI of the game. Here's James Blackston. He had an RBI single in his first at bat in the opening inning. Tarango looking to minimize the damage. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on, line into right center field. That's a base hit. Mustangs are going to plate another. And Blackston headed for second to throw it. He's in there standing up. Kyle Daniels crosses home plate on the double from James Blackston. Fort Morgan 5, Vista Peak 2. Rodriguez went to third on the play. Here's Jared Bohm. Bohm reached on an error in his first plate appearance. They're going to walk him intentionally. Again, without the benefit of a pitch at all. That's the high school rule, like it or not. And the bases are loaded for Tony Zwedzig, who struck out his first time up. And he could break open the game with a base hit. Tarango out of the windup. And the pitch. Fastball, a strike on the outer half. It's 0-1. No balls, one strike to Zwedzig. And the offering. Swing and a miss, and a ball that tied him up. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, and the breaking ball is inside. One and two. Line and offering, and that is a called strike 3. Fastball in the outside corner. Zwedzig not happy about it, but the inning is over. But the Mustangs pick up 2 more runs in the second. They do it on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 men left. 5-2 Fort Morgan over Vista Peak on B106 and B106.com. Jaime Tarango, the opposing pitcher, is at the plate. He was up there when Isaiah Young was picked off of third. Pitch from Daniels. Swung on and popped up on the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Rodriguez, gives way to the first baseman, Anderson, who made the catch. 1 down in the bottom of the second inning. That's the way to do it for the Mustangs. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Hey guys, let's go. Over here.
So Daniels towing the rubber here. Arturo Valenzuela steps in. The offering. And the breaking ball is way outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Valenzuela. The offering. Fastball, a strike, took something off it. Count is level at 1-1. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5-2 Fort Morgan in the bottom of the second inning. Daniels gets the sign. The breaking ball is just up and away. Very close. It is 2-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a fastball up and in. Valenzuela strikes out. It'll bring up Adam Pueller. There's 2 down. Heading for the right side is this 9th place hitter. Wind and pitch. Breaking ball is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind and offering. A strike with a fastball in the outside corner. Count is at 1-1. The pitch up and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. To the right-handed hitting Adam Pueller, the first baseman. The pitch. Breaking ball inside corner, strike 2. Daniels looking for the first 1-2-3 inning of this game by either side. Wind and pitch. Curveball fouled back. And the count remains at 2-2 to the ninth place hitter, Adam Puehler. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on the fastball. 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Daniels, who records a couple of strikeouts. Let's go to the third. It's Fort Morgan 5, Vista Peak 2 on B106 and B106.com. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Fort Morgan headed to the third. Austin Cosman, Joey Schneider, and Kyle Daniels against right-hander Jaime Tarango. The Mustangs lead the Vista Peak Bison 5-2 in Aurora. Looking for the season sweep of the series after winning on Wednesday in a nail-biter 11-10, a game that Fort Morgan was up by 8 going into the 7th. Cosman struck out in his first at-bat. Tarango gets the sign and the offering upstairs with a heater. 1 ball and no strikes. And Tarango can't keep that shirt tucked in. He just keeps slipping out on him. Here's the wind and the 1-0. That's right there on the outside corner for a strike. Took something off with the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked at a team at Aspen Rehabilitation, also known as Rehabilitation, inside Valley View Villa. Had a slip up there for your sports rehab, short-term or long-term care needs at 815 Fremont, or call them 867-8261 Valley View Villa. Next pitch is up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. James Blackston with a couple of RBIs in this game already. The pitch swung on and fouled back on a fastball riding in. Evens the count at 2-2. 3 runs in the first and 2 in the second for the Mustangs. Vista Peak scored their lone run in the bottom of the first inning. Cosman waving the bat. And the 2-2 in the dirt. 3-2. To Austin Cosman. White lays down the sign. And Tarango delivers. Swung on, grounded to third. Rodriguez has it go right off his glove into shallow left field. Cosman will round first and fall down, and he'll get back up. Rodriguez has committed his second error of the game. And the Mustangs have the leadoff man on for the second straight inning on a routine grounder. Joey Schneider doubled over the head of the left fielder Arturo Valenzuela in the second inning. A 2-run second for Fort Morgan. Tarango hopefully not frustrated out there because it could cost him that he's not getting the defensive support he needs. The stretch. Long pause. The pitch. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. To Joey Schneider. Cosman with a very, very short lead at first. A 1-step lead. Tarango delivers. Swung on and foul back on a fastball up in the zone. Evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Coach Langford giving Schneider, as well as his base runner Cosman, instructions. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, nobody out. 5-2, Fort Morgan leads Vista Peak and Aurora in the top of the third inning. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at B106 for continuous scoring updates. Tarango looks back, the pitch. That's a fastball for a strike on the outer half at the knees. Or, of course, a game-by-game account. At KSIRsports.com. Just click on today's game. You can see what's happened for the first pitch on. 1-2 to Schneider. Tarango with a long pause. Runner goes. Swung on and driven to left field. Valenzuela coming on. Has to play it on a hop. Rounding second is Cosman. Headed to third. The throw, the slide. He's in there. Schneider headed to second. The throw, and he slides, and he's going to be out. He is out at second. That'll go 7-5-4 as Schneider's eliminated after the base hit. He took a chance. It didn't pay off. One down for Kyle Daniels. 1 for 2. He grounded to second and then reached on a bunt single. As Daniels steps in. So the Mustangs were looking to place 2 in scoring position. Didn't happen. But still could score for the 3rd consecutive inning. Wind and pitch. His fastball is fouled at the plate. No balls and 1 strike to Kyle Daniels, the left-handed hitting sophomore. We're in the 3rd inning in Aurora. White lays down the sign. And the 0-1. Swung on and grounded left side for a base hit. Into left field. Cosman scores. Kyle Daniels with the RBI single. Fort Morgan 6, Vista Peak 2. 2 for 3 is Daniels as he went the other way. Chris Anderson had walked and grounded out. He's 0 for 1. Durango trying to not create further trouble for him. The stretch and the offering, and that's upstairs with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. To Chris Anderson. Throw back to first. Back and diving is Daniels, and the ball got away briefly. Back in the box is Anderson at 1-0. Fort Morgan grabbed an early 3-0 lead. They've extended it since then. Daniels can run, too, so watch out here, the stretch. Anderson awaits the 1-0 pitch. Throw back to first. Back and diving is Daniels, who was leaning a bit. Looked like he was going. But he read that move of Jaime Tarango perfectly and got back in. Fort Morgan with 8 hits in the game to 3 for Vista Peak, and the Bison have committed the only 2 errors of the game. 2-step lead for Daniels. Tarango stretches. Throw back again, back in diving. And Tarango does not have a quick move to the plate. So if Daniels reads it, he should be able to steal second without a problem. White lays down the sign. Tarango comes home. Fouled off to the left. On the ball up in the zone, the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mustangs and Elizabeth Cardinals on Wednesday. From Fort Morgan, then a week from today, on the road against Elizabeth. All 4 o'clock starts on B106 and B106.com. It's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Throw back to first. Daniels back in diving. That's going to be a repetitive theme as long as Daniels is at first base because he's got all that speed. Tarango looks in. The stretch. Tarango comes home. Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, with runners on base, this could take a while. Again, Daniels now with a 3-step lead. Tarango comes home, runner going. It's taken outside. He's going to have an easy stolen base as the ball got there on a hop. And it's 3-1 now to Chris Anderson. Daniels with a huge jump. Tarango's about to throw his 70th pitch in just 2 1/3 innings. Reyes Rodriguez on deck. Fort Morgan 6, Vista Peak 2. We're in the top of the 3rd. The stretch. And Tarango comes home. Up and away. Anderson walks for the 2nd time in the game. Rodriguez singled, then hit a grounder back to Tarango. He threw to 3rd to try to get Bauer out. He did not, so that goes as a fielder's choice. So Rodriguez officially at 1 for 2 in the game. He accepts the sign from Coach Langford at 3rd and steps inside the batter's box. The top 2 players in the lineup have their leads. Tarango comes home. Breaking ball swung on and missed, skips away from White. And on the wild pitch, the runners advance. Yeah, Rodriguez swung at a terrible pitch, but luckily the ball got away from White. And 2 runners in scoring position with the Mustangs looking to extend what is right now a 4-run lead. Looks like he'll operate out of the windup. No balls and 1 strike. Tarango looks in. The pitch. Swang and a miss. He tried to hit that one deep, and he missed it. It's 0-2. And Rodriguez goes the other way very well. If he takes that to right field, that could play 2. No balls, 2 strikes. At 3rd is Daniels. Anderson at 2nd. That's Chris Anderson. The Mustangs have scored in every inning. The offering, swung on and driven in the air to right field. Smith to his left, still coming in, makes the one-handed catch. Daniels will tag, and the throw goes all the way through, but he will score. To 3rd is Chris Anderson on the sac fly by Reyes Rodriguez. The Mustangs now lead 7-2. Great piece of hitting there going the other way. Wes Anderson has 2 RBIs. He's got a double, driving in a run and a sacrifice fly. Out of the windup. And the pitch swung on and foul just behind the screen. No balls and 1 strike. To Wes Anderson. Officially 1 for 1 in the game. Sac flies do not count as at bats. Anderson settles back in with a runner at 3rd. Tarango taking his time. Now gets the sign. Now kicks and fires. Outside with a heater. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. We are at the top of the hour. This is KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan, Morgan County's B106. I'm John Beltran, live from Aurora in this Colorado 7 league game. Fort Morgan 7, Vista Peak 2 in the 3rd. 1-1. In the dirt, blocked beautifully by White. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, we are going to be headed here for a 2.5 hour plus game the way it's going. Not even close to halfway through at this point. 2-1 to Anderson. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and popped up in the infield. The pitcher, Tarango, is looking for the baseball. The 3rd baseman, Rodriguez, drops the ball to the right of the mound. His 3rd error of the game. Chris Anderson scores, and the Mustangs now lead 8-2. That's a tough one there, as James Blackston has already singled and doubled. Driving in a run in the opening inning. Will step in. Yeah, that's a play that probably Tarango could have made himself. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. No balls and 1 strike. So Fort Morgan has plated 3 runs in this inning and has extended the lead to 8-2. Blackston trying to go 3 for 3 in this one. The pitch. In the dirt did he go, and he did on the breaking ball on a pitch that wasn't even close, and he's down in the count at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Blackston has driven in 2 runs in the game. Both base hits produced RBIs. The stretch. And Tarango comes home. Swung on, driven foul down the left field line. He hit it a mile, but he pulled it. That's 80 pitches thrown by Tarango, so he's averaging about 26, 27 pitches so far for the first 3 innings. That run that he allowed, the 8th run, is unearned because it was an error. It'll be another 0-2 pitch. With Anderson at first, the stretch by Tarango. Blackston awaits, here it is. Curveball is grounded foul down the third base side. Remains at 0-2. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan and Brush. Equitable savings and loan with financial solutions for you. 3, 2, and 3 over the first 3 frames for the Mustangs, but they're not done in the third. Again, a very conservative lead for Wes Anderson. Blackston awaits the 0-2 pitch outside. Took something off it. It's 1-2. Seems this game has gone on for a while, but we played exactly 58 minutes. 1-2 to JB. And Tarango with a long pause. The pitch. Breaking ball is in the dirt. Nice job of Blackston laying off that one. That's the pitch that he swung at during the second pitch of this sequence. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hopefully Kyle Daniels can get out there and make it very quick as far as the Vista Peak hitters are concerned. Or the Mustangs can win this in 5 innings because they're up by 6 right now. Runner goes 2-2. Swung on and driven deep down the left field line into foul territory. Valenzuela gives chase, and he cannot make the play. It'll remain at 2-2 to James Blackston. As Wes Anderson will race back to first. We'll see another 2-2 pitch to the senior center fielder, James Blackston. And Tarango's very measured with his delivery. Make sure that he takes his time. He kicks, he fires. Outside. Paul White thought it was strike 3, but just a little bit low as well. 3-2. Now Anderson will be taking off with a pitch. So he's going to have an advantage. If the ball's in the outfield, he might be able to get to third base with a running start. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tarango stretches. Tarango delivers. Swung on, fouled off the end of the bat on the changeup. Blackston was way, way out in front. It is 3-2. Be another 3-2 pitch to Blackston. Tarango delivers. Swung on, lined into the left center field gap. That ball's headed towards the fence. Wes Anderson is rounding second. Isaiah Young cuts it off, gets the ball back into the infield, and it's another double for James Blackston. Runners at second and third. Still with 2 down for Jarrett Bohm. What a quality at bat for Blackston, who is now 3 for 3 in the game. Bohm is 0 for 1, reached on an error, then an intentional walk. They might walk him again. It would make sense to walk him again because the last time they did that, They got Zwedzig up there who struck out with the bases loaded, but it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So we'll take it with them. Top of the third inning. We have some change. Let's keep it right here for now. Looks like there would be a pitching change with Michael DiPaolo checking in. Let's see if that's the case. This is the first visit to the Hill, so let's not assume anything yet. With the Mustangs up by 6 with 2 down and 2 on. Tarango has thrown 87 pitches in the game. Only gone 2 2/3. Those runners are his responsibility at second and third. And, yeah, he's going to stay out there. But DiPaolo's going to go to first base now. So DiPaolo's at first. That's where he's going. And quite frankly, Tarango should have been out of this inning, but a drop fly ball extended the frame. Oh, here is Jared Bohm. Again, 0 for 1 officially. Is Bowman. They are going to pitch to him. Yeah, this is surprising because they didn't implement that strategy last time. The pitch. And that goes all the way to the screen. Anderson coming to the plate. And the underhand tag, the slide. Safe! Saved by Anderson. On the wild pitch, he scores. Mustangs now lead 9-2. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought they would walk the bases loaded, but the Mustangs will take it. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch upstairs with a fastball. Two balls and no strikes. Wind and offering. Swung on and popped into center. Isaiah Young is going back. He's still going back to his left and makes the catch. He stumbled out there, but was able to put it away. However, Fort Morgan has their biggest inning of the game so far as the Mustangs score 4 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 errors and a man left. 2.5 complete in Aurora. Fort Morgan 9, Vista Peak 2 on B106 and B106.com. 9-2, Fort Morgan leads Vista Peak as we head to the bottom of the third inning. The Mustangs were in that dugout for a while, generating the 4-run rally. The last 2 runs were unearned, but they have earned a 7-run lead. And Kyle Daniels is coming off a 1-2-3 inning in the second. Top of the lineup, Yomar Rodriguez will step in. He got a base hit in his first at bat against the left-hander Daniels. Schneider looking towards the dugout for the sign. Coach Langford calls the pitches, and that breaking ball is a beauty on the inner half for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Yomar Rodriguez. Wine and offering. Way outside, tried to throw the same pitch, and the location was well off. The count is level at 1-1. The pitch. Change up, ball 2, outside. Two balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Upstairs with a fastball. Count moves to 3-1. And the offering. Inside with a fastball, and Daniels walks Rodriguez to begin the third. That'll bring up Paul White. He walked in the opening frame. Second walk issued there by Kyle Daniels. Daniels looks in. The pitch is a changeup for a strike on the inside corner. Count is at 0-1. Mustangs at double play depth, leading 9-2 in the bottom of the third inning in Aurora. 1-step lead for Rodriguez. Daniels delivers. Swung on and popped up into foul territory on the third base side. Cosman has got room, and he makes the two-handed grab. There's one down. That'll send up Colton Thompson, who singled in a run in the first inning. And that's what Daniels produces when he's got that changeup going. The opposing hitter swing under it and pop it up. That's why he's not necessarily a ground ball pitcher. He made his pitch there, though. Two-step lead for Rodriguez. Let's see if Daniels goes to first. He does.
Go, Colton.
Daniels looks in to first again. Daniels back in standing both times. The Mustangs have 9 hits in the game. The pitch swung on and driven deep to left field to his left, and diving and making the catch over there was Aguilar. Runner has to go back to first. A long throw is fielded by Anderson as Aguilar made a tremendous catch in left field, robbing Colton Thompson of his second base hit. There's 2 down. That line drive was descending, and Aguilar judged it perfectly. 2 down for Isaiah Young, who grounded into a 5-4 fielder's choice in his first at bat. That could have been a game changer right there in terms of a Vista Peak rally in the third inning. The pitch and the breaking ball is on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. To Isaiah Young, officially at 0 for 1. As opposed to his counterpart, Tarango, who's thrown well over 80 pitches, Daniels will be delivering his 40th pitch of the game right now. Throw back to first, though. Back in standing is Yomar Rodriguez. Schneider lays down the sign. And the pitch swung on, lined, and to the shortstop, Swedzik on 1 hop. He steps on the bag for the out. It's a good thing that Daniels didn't touch it. If not, there could have been trouble there. And denied in that third inning is Vista Peak. They do not score. No hits, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the fourth. Fort Morgan 9, Vista Peak 2. You're listening to Mustang Baseball on B106 and B106.com. The new pitcher for Vista Peak is Adam Pueller, who is playing first base now. Jaime Tarango is now the first baseman. He's the third first baseman in this game for Vista Peak. 9-2, Fort Morgan. Here in the fourth inning in Aurora, trying to make this a shortened game inning-wise, with 3 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and 4 more in the third. Can't take anything for granted, though. The Mustangs had a huge lead on Wednesday and nearly lost the game. So they're certainly not going to take the foot off the gas pedal. Up 9-2. So the changes are so noted with Pueller on the mound and Tarango moving to first base. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Tony Zwedzig, Austin Cosman, and Joey Schneider against the right-hander, Adam Pueller. Yeah, can't stress enough. Not only what a beautiful day it is, but this facility is massive. This is the 4th year of this high school. 2nd year, they're all in the Colorado 7 League. Zwedzig has struck out a couple of times, including one with the bases loaded. The first pitch of the 4th inning by Adam Pueller is swung on and grounded slowly to third. Rodriguez gloves. Rodriguez throws, and it's off the glove of Tarango at first. Swedzik headed to second, and the throw is going to be made, but he's in there. That'll be an error on the first baseman. The throw was a little bit high, but he should have certainly caught that ball. So it's a 2-base error. That time on the first baseman, Tarango. I don't know if he lost it in the sun. It was a little bit high, but very, very catchable. Here's Austin Cosman. Struck out and reached on an error. He is 0 for 2 in the game. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on, driven to left field. That is a base hit. Let's see if Zwedzig's going to hold up at third. And he will be held up. Runners at the corners now for Joey Schneider, as the bottom of the order is producing to begin the fourth inning. Schneider's 2 for 2. He's doubled and singled. On the back end of that single, he was eliminated at second base, trying to stretch it into 2 bases. And a rude awakening here to begin this inning for the right-hander Adam Puehler. Runners take their leads. Cosman with a short lead at first. Will he be going? No. Just a step off, no throw either way. Fort Morgan now has 10 hits in the game. Looking for double digits in the scoring column as well. The stretch. And the offering. Outside with a changeup. It's 1-0. The Mustangs grabbed an early 3-0 lead. They have not looked back. Up 9-2 in the top of the fourth inning. And the pitch swung on and grounded left side, headed for left field, cut off by the shortstop. Long throw is going to be in time. Excellent play over there by Colton Thompson. Scoring is Tony Zwedzig. And it's now a 10-2 game. The RBI to Schneider. Kyle Daniels is 2 for 3. Started off with that bunt. The stretch. And Puehler delivers. Swung on and popped up extremely high into shallow center field. Outgoing is the second baseman, Vidalas, and he makes the catch as he was stumbling back towards the outfield. There's 2 down. And that got a little tricky as high as that ball was hit. 2 down for the left-handed hitting Chris Anderson, who was 0 for 1. He's walked a couple of times. Cosman had to hold up at second. The stretch and the offering, up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. So the Mustangs have scored in each and every inning here. But only 1 so far in the top of the fourth, holding an 8-run advantage. 1-0. Swung on and popped foul and out of play. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Premier Farm Credit is still the lender of choice for America's farmers and ranchers. They are passionate and understand agriculture. They're dedicated to serving America in good times and bad. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. And the 1-1. Ball nearly hit him. Backed out of the way, it's 2-1. Again, follow us pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. You can click on the slower or the faster connection, and then the link to today's game. 2-1. Swung on line, base hit into left center field. Cosman is going to round third. Young barehands the baseball, fires it back in towards the plate. It's offline. Headed to second is Anderson. It's an RBI single. Fort Morgan 11, Vista Peak 2. That'll bring up Reyes Rodriguez, who is 1 for 2. A single and a sac fly for Reyes. Mustangs have now scored multiple runs in every frame. The pitch and the breaking ball is down and away. One ball and no strikes. Oh, Fort Morgan again did lead 11-3. You don't want to take anything for granted. Let's see what they do here. 1-0. Swung on and driven deep to right center field. That one is way back there, and it is Up against the bottom of the fence. Rounding third is Anderson. He'll score. Rodriguez is headed for third. No throw will be made. It's a stand-up RBI triple for Reyes Rodriguez. And the Mustangs now lead 12-2.
Base hit. Line drive, bud.
Yeah, that thing was launched. And here's Wes Anderson. The pitch. Right there for a strike. Took something off it. No balls and one strike.
Line drive.
Anderson, a double, a sac fly, and an error. He's got 2 RBIs in the game. And the pitch. Rides inside. And that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Back in the box. Puehler delivers. Swing and a miss. Man, he swung that pitch yesterday and it got there right now. Way, way, way out in front. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the senior first baseman, Wes Anderson.
Left ball.
Rodriguez leads off of third. Puehler from the windup. Anderson awaits the pitch. And the breaking ball is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. And that does it here in the 4th inning. However, the Mustangs score 4 runs on 3 hits. Check that. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Fort Morgan 12, Vista Peak 2. This is B106 and B106.com. Fort Morgan 12, Vista Peak 2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Mustangs are in position to win this game in 5 innings. If Vista Peak does not score, that will be the case because they're up by 10. Darian Vidales leads off for the Bison in the bottom of the 4th inning against the left-hander Kyle Daniels. The pitch. Breaking ball is fouled at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Daniels had a 1-2-3 inning in the 2nd. And the offering. Curveball is lined up the middle. That's a base hit. He hung that curveball. And they've had the leadoff man on 3 times in this game. But the Mustangs have thwarted those rallies thereafter. And Vidales is now 2 for 2. That'll send up the 6th place hitter, Craig Smith, who popped up in his opening at bat. The pitch. Curveball swung on and missed in the dirt. Scooped up by Schneider. It's 0-1. The Mustangs have taken advantage of 4 errors committed by Vista Peak, but they do have 12 hits in the game. The pitch. Fastball rides inside. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mustangs will be playing at home on Wednesday against Elizabeth, 4 o'clock on B106 and B106.com. The stretch. And the throwback to first, back in diving, is Vidales. Reyes Rodriguez, the second baseman, shading a little bit towards the bag. Anything hit up the middle, he might be able to secure it and turn a double play. The pitch swung on and popped up into shallow right center field. Rodriguez is back, still going back, makes the catch. Vidales back to first. There's 1 down as Craig Smith is retired. And Jaime Tarango will now hit. He popped to the first baseman Anderson in his first at bat. So the Mustangs now just 5 outs away from securing this win if they can retain at least a 10-run advantage. Vidales with a 1-step lead. Daniels is more than likely going to come home. Curveball is a strike on the inner half. It's 0-1. Perfect pitch by Kyle Daniels. Schneider lays down the sign. And the offering. Curveball is way outside. Might have tried to throw a changeup with that. I don't know. It was missed badly. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Fort Morgan 12, Vista Peak 2 in the bottom of the fourth inning in Aurora. Daniels delivers upstairs and outside, 2-1. Vista Peak 2-4 in league play coming in. The Mustangs at 5-0 and holding a 10-run advantage. 2-1 pitch. Ball is grounded to short. Zwedzik to his right. Flips to second. That's one. Rodriguez to first. And it gets by Anderson up against the fence. Nice backup there by Schneider. Would have been a double play. But the throw was low. No error. Just a fielder's choice. 6-4. And there's 2 down. Yeah, you can't assume a double play, even though it would have been a double play based on the fact that Tarango was not there quick enough. Arturo Valenzuela struck out in his first at bat. The pitch. Fastball is popped up into shallow right center field. Long run for Blackston. That ball is going to drop. Drop in front of Bohm, picked up by Rodriguez. It's a Texas League base hit for Arturo Valenzuela. Advancing to second is Tarango, and Vista Peak has a threat in the bottom of the fourth with 2 down, and Adam Puehler, who struck out in his first at bat, stepping in. Daniels made a good pitch there, just it got hit in a bad spot if you're the Mustangs. Daniels looks back to pitch. Curveball, a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch. Runners take their leads. And the offering, squaring to bunt, lays it down foul on the first base side. And the count moves to 0-2. Daniels has done his best pitching here with men on base. There's not a lot of runs since the first inning. Mustangs have scored the last 9 runs of the game. No balls, 2 strikes. The offering. Curveball swung on and missed, and Puehler strikes out. The inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Let's head to the 5th inning in Aurora. Fort Morgan is in control. They lead Vista Peak 12-2 on B106 and B106.com. 12-2, Fort Morgan leads Vista Peak as we head to the 5th inning. And Adam Puehler is beginning yet another inning of work. He's going to face a red-hot hitter coming up in James Blackston. He's had a big day with a single and 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in, 3 for 3 in the game. As Fort Morgan is trying to cement this victory in just 5 innings, all they've got to do is stay even with Vista Peak in the inning. Either they both score as many runs or the Mustangs outscore the Bison. Anything less than that will send the game to a 6th inning. Kyle Daniels is certainly pitching extremely well. 12 runs on 12 hits for Fort Morgan. 2 runs on 5 hits for Vista Peak. The Bison have the 4 errors in the game. Vista Peak has stranded 4. The Mustangs have stranded 7. So Blackston trying to make it a 4-for-4 day, as he will now bat to begin the 5th. All right, Blackston taking those practice swings. Puehler now steps on the hill. Here is the wind and the pitch. And the changeup is a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the wind and the offering. Curveball swung on and missed. Well, he was down 0-2 in his previous at-bat and then stroked that double on a 3-2 pitch, so he's certainly not scared of hitting with 2 strikes. 0-2. Breaking ball is in the dirt. And the count moves to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Mustang center fielder. And Adam Puehler delivers. That is a called strike 3. Fastball down the middle, belt high, and there's one down. One down for Jared Bohm, who's reached on an error, was intentionally walked and popped to center. He is 0 for 2 in the game. So Bohm steps in. Wind and pitch. Upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind and the offering. Swung on, drilled, foul down the left side. Count levels at 1-1. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery offers cookies, muffins, and sweetbreads made fresh daily. Pair with your favorite coffee, lattes, or smoothie flavors in your set. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 921 Edison Street in Brush. The pitch. Breaking ball is in the dirt, skips away from White. Count moves to 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. And Bohm awaits the offering. And he swings and pops it up extremely high. The second baseman, Darian Vidalis, ranges in and squeezes it for the second out of the inning. Here is Tony Swedzig, who's 0 for 3, struck out a couple of times and then reached on an error by the first baseman, Tarango. 1 inning ago, the Mustangs have scored in every inning, but they are without a run here in the 5th, but they do lead 12-2 over Vista Peak. Wind and pitch, swung on and grounded right back to Puehler, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Adam Puehler as we head to the bottom of the 5th. The Mustangs can win this game by holding Vista Peak scoreless. It's Fort Morgan 12, Vista Peak 2 on B106 and B106.com. If the Mustangs are to win this game in 5 innings, then Kyle Daniels will have to retire the top of the order here. 1, 2, and 3. Omar Rodriguez will step in for the right side. 12-2, Fort Morgan. Lefty against righty, the pitch, and the breaking ball is on the outer half for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Yomar Rodriguez. And the offering, curveball is upstairs. A single and a walk for the third baseman. He's been good offensively, but struggled defensively with 3 miscues. And the 1-1. Curveball is grounded foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mustangs are 3 outs away if they do not allow a run from their 8th win of the season. Wind and pitch. Outside with a changeup. The count levels at 2-2. Daniels has only thrown 57 pitches. Wind in the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Bloom away with a fastball in the outer half, and there's 1 down. 1 down for Paul White, who's walked and popped out. Yeah, Daniels brought some gas there. So White officially is 0 for 1 in the game. And the offering. The breaking ball is down and in. 1-0. Daniels kicks and fires. Swung on and grounded a short. Swedzik to his left. Bobbles, picks it up. Now throws to first and late. Jared Henderson now playing first. That'll be an error on the shortstop, Tony Swedzik. As Paul White reaches. And that'll send up Colton Thompson, who singled and lined out. He had that line drive that was caught by Aguilar and left. Well, the Mustangs can still end it with a double play here. Stretch by Daniels. And the pitch. Curveball is lined to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Advancing to second is White. Thompson is now 2 for 3 in the game. That'll send up Isaiah Young, who has grounded into 2 fielder's choices. 1 to third and 1 to short. With 1 run, this game would go to the 6th inning. There is 1 out in the 5th. 12-2 Fort Morgan. The stretch by Daniels. And the offering. Right there with a fastball. Down the middle, it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to the center fielder, Isaiah Young. The pitch. Swung on and lined up the middle. Second baseman Rodriguez dives, cannot get to it. It's into center field. Paul White's going to round third. He will score. The throw to third as the runner retreats to second. RBI single for Young. It's now 12-3. Here's Darian Vidales. So this game will go to a 6th inning, regardless of what the Mustangs do here defensively, as it is now 12-3. Daniels gets the sign. And the pitch. Bounces in, blocked by Schneider. One ball and no strikes. Vidales. Back in the box. He is 2 for 2 in the game. Step off, no throw. Couple of singles for Vidales. And Vista Peak scored their first run since the 1st inning, and they're looking for more. And the pitch. Breaking ball bounces in again. Again, Fort Morgan led 11-3 going into the 7th on Wednesday and held on for the victory, 11-10. Up 12-2 here, and Vista Peak has attempted to generate a rally. 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch. Curveball is right there, strike 1. 2-1. At second is Thompson. Young at first. The pitch. Up and away with a heater. 3 balls and 1 strike. The stretch. And the offering. Curveball is foul back. John moves to 3-2. The stretch. 3-2 pitch. Curveball is outside and low. And it's a walk to load the bases for Craig Smith. Smith has popped out twice. 0 for 2 in the game. Wine and pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the wine and offering. Outside. It is 2-0. And all of a sudden, the Mustangs in trouble here. Two and 0. Wind and pitch. Curveball is right there. That's strike 1. Two and 1 to Smith. With the bases loaded. And the offering. Curveball is foul behind the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 to Smith. And the offering. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Schneider. And it's a strikeout. There's 2 down and the bases remain loaded. Big strikeout there for Kyle Daniels. That'll send up Tarango. Popped out and hit into a fielder's choice. He is 0 for 2 in the game. Wind and pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Took something off it. It's 0-1. Here's the wind and offering. Curveball is grounded sharply to short, and Swedzik has it. Flips to second for the out. Excellent play in the hole by Tony Swedzik. And the inning is over. Vista Peak scores a run. They leave the bases loaded. Let's head to the 6th inning. Fort Morgan 12, Vista Peak 3 on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs 12, the Bison 3 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. And Fort Morgan sending up Cosman, Schneider, and Daniels against the right-hander Puehler. After Vista Peak extended the game with a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. So now Fort Morgan trying to counter here in the top of the 6th. And here is Cosman. Austin Cosman to lead off. Against the right-hander. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded to third. Rodriguez has got it. Sets, throws, and there's 1 down. Cosman is now 1 for 4. Mustangs struggling offensively after the first 4 innings, but that's not a bad sign. They scored 12 in the first 4. Here's Joey Schneider. Schneider's doubled, singled, and grounded out. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on, driven deep to left field. Valenzuela is way back to the fence, and it is off the bottom of the fence. Schneider around first. He's into second with a 1-out double. That ball was tattooed by Joey Schneider. Nearly rode it out of here. That'll bring up Kyle Daniels, who's grounded out. And then a couple of singles and a pop-out. He is 2 for 4 in the game. Daniels trying to give the Mustangs a 10-run lead again. They were up 12-2 going into the 5th inning. The stretch and the offering. And that ball hit him right around the foot area. That'll bring up Juan Aguilar, who's going to bat here in this position. Aguilar batting in Chris Anderson's spot. As he will step in from the right side. At second, no, that is Schneider out there. With Adam Puehler, has done a pretty good job since coming into the game for Tarango. But now the Mustangs are looking to get back on the board. With a 12-3 lead, B&B Appliance carries a full line of in-stock and ready-to-be-delivered Whirlpool appliances. With the world moving towards more green energy, time for you to recycle the old and get in with the new appliances. That is B&B Appliance. And the pitch swung on and chopped slowly toward short. Tough play, caught up by the third baseman Rodriguez. Throws to first in time. Aguilar is out, and there's 2 down. And they're asking for an appeal that the first baseman foot was not on the bag. Let's see. The umpires will convene. And let's see if that was the case. That's what Coach Langford is claiming, that Tarango's foot was off the bag. And let's see what the call is. If that's the case, there would be an error on the third baseman, Rodriguez, on the throw-off line. And it's going to be safe. And Aaron Rodriguez, as his foot did come off the bag. And the bases are loaded for Reyes Rodriguez, who was 2 for 3. Single, a fielder's choice, sac fly, and he tripled. Tripled in a run, so he's driven in 2. And now he's right now in a spot where he could give Fort Morgan a humongous lead. The pitch, a changeup, a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the wine and offering. Swung on, driven to center field. Young is right there. He'll make the catch. Runner is tagging from third. The throw towards the plate will not be made. And scoring is Schneider on the sac fly by Rodriguez. It's now 13-3 Fort Morgan. Good job of base running there by Schneider. Other runners had to hold. And Jared Henderson will now hit. A Fort Morgan back up by 10. The stretch. Pitch to Henderson. Swung on and driven into the left center field gap. And it's a base hit. Rounding third is Daniels. The throw towards the plate is going to be cut off. An RBI single for Henderson. And the Mustangs now lead 14-3 in the top of the 6th inning. Here is James Blackston. The Mustangs are relentless now, holding the 11-run cushion. The stretch and the pitch. Rides inside for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Blackston is 3 for 4. Excellent game for him. A single, couple of doubles, driven in a couple of runs. The offering. Fastball is up and away. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Pueller, the right-hander, stretches. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss out in front. Count is at 1-2. Coach Langford telling him to just sit back, be patient till the ball gets there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. The Mustangs have 2 across in the frame and lead 14-3. And the pitch. Curveball is grounded foul. Count remains at 1-2 to James Blackston. Now Vista Peak has to score at least 2 runs in the bottom of the frame to extend the game, unless Fort Morgan scores even more right now. Blackston back in, down on the count at 1-2. And the pitch. Changeup is upstairs, and the count levels at 2-2. Senior center fielder looking for a 4-hit game today. Aguilar at second, Henderson at first. Pueller gets the sign. And the pitch. Breaking ball down and away off the glove of White. The pass ball will advance the runners. To third is Aguilar. To second is Henderson. Now we'll see a 3-2. He had a base hit earlier in this game on a 3-2. In fact, he drilled a double into the gap. Out of the windup is Pueller. And the 3-2 pitch upstairs. It's a walk. And the bases are loaded for T.J. Bauer. Bauer getting a rare at bat, but he's going to try to take advantage of it right now. With Aguilar at third, Henderson at second, and Blackston at first. And Fort Morgan leading 14-3 in the top of the sixth inning over Vista Peak and Aurora. Now here we go. Stepping in is Bauer from the right side. Wine and pitch. Fastball down the middle, strike one. Any more runs scored by the Mustangs would put additional pressure on Vista Peak to extend the game to a seventh inning. The offering, right there, same spot, it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, the bases loaded. 2 across in the sixth inning. Fort Morgan leads by 11. And Puehler steps off. Puehler back on the rubber. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball above the letters. And that's the inning. However, Fort Morgan scores twice on 2 hits, 1 error, and 3 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Fort Morgan 14, Vista Peak 3 on B106 and B106.com. We'll have a pinch hitter, Jesus Sanchez, to begin the bottom of the sixth for Vista Peak. The Mustangs lead 14-3 in the game. And Vista Peak needs 2 runs for this game to go to a seventh inning. As simple as that. Kyle Daniels looking to go the distance. As the left-hander looks in. And the pitch swung on and grounded slowly on the left side. Third baseman Cosman has it. Throws to first. 1 down. One down in the Vista Peak sixth inning. Well, they retired the first hitter. In the fifth, a strikeout of Rodriguez, who's on deck, but unfortunately that did not translate to a 5-inning victory. Here is Adam Puehler, who struck out twice. Line by Daniels, the pitch. Down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night. When they do, every second counts. As a level 3 trauma center, Colorado Plains Medical Center can handle any type of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center, where expertise matters. The breaking ball's up and in, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. The offering. Oh boy, upstairs, 3-0. 3-0 to Adam Puehler. Wine and pitch. It's outside. He walked the number 9 hitter on 4 pitches. That'll bring up Yomar Rodriguez. Rodriguez has singled, walked, and struck out. He is 1 for 2 in the game. The stretch. He's squaring to bunt the pitch. Curveball is a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Again, Vista Peak needs 2 runs to extend the game. They were in this position 1 inning ago and pulled it off. And the offering. Curveball is upstairs. All they needed was 1 run then. They need 2 now. One ball and 1 strike. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Could be 2. To second, that's 1. To first, and 2! And the game is over! 6-4-3 as the double play was turned. And the Mustangs have won the game by a score of 14-3. We'll wrap it up in 2 minutes on B106 and B106.com. Mustang Post Game Show brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you can trust to do a good job is the tough part nowadays, but when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you get the building you want when you want it and at the quality you deserve. Start your build project right with Buildings by Design as the Mustangs beat the Vista Peak Bison 14-3. 14 runs on 14 hits, 1 error, 10 left on base for the Mustangs. 3 runs on 7 hits, 5 errors, and 7 left on base for Vista Peak. The winning pitcher was Kyle Daniels going the distance. The loss went to Jaime Tarango. Time of the game, 1 hour and 58 minutes. Mustangs wasted no time as they scored 3 runs in the first inning. Wes Anderson had an RBI double, followed by Reyes Rodriguez scoring on a pass ball. And then James Blackston, who had 3 hits in the game, had an RBI single. Vista Peak came back in the bottom of the first inning. Colton Thompson with a run-scoring single, followed by an RBI single from Derian Vidales. But then Fort Morgan scored 9 unanswered runs. Wes Anderson with a sac fly in the second, followed by Blackston's RBI double, made it 5-2. And then in the third, Kyle Daniels with a run-scoring single, followed by a sac fly by Rodriguez. And then Chris Anderson scored on an error. Wes Anderson would cross home plate on a wild pitch as the Mustangs went up 9-2 in that third inning. Then in the fourth, Joey Schneider with an RBI groundout, plating a run, made it 10-2. Chris Anderson followed with a run-scoring single, and then Reyes Rodriguez with an RBI triple was 12-2. Vista Peak extended the game to a sixth inning when Isaiah Young drilled a single for a base hit, and then Fort Morgan tallied 2 in the sixth inning as they got a Rodriguez sacrifice fly and Jared Henderson with an RBI single. Mustangs win the game 14-3. They're 6-0 in Colorado 7 league play, 8-5 overall. Vista Peak falls to 6-7 overall and 2-5 in league play. The Mustangs are back in action coming up on Wednesday at 4 o'clock at home against Elizabeth, right here on B106 and B106.com. As we always remind you, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at B106 for continuous scoring updates, or at KSIRsports.com for a pitch-by-pitch account of every game we have on the B as well as the web. Outstanding job by our sound engineer and producer, Michaela Klimper. I'm John Beltran with a final score from Aurora in 6 innings. Fort Morgan 14, Vista Peak 3 on B106 and B106.com.